Hello, profit takers. It's Victoria here, and we are back today with another video. Today, we're going to talk about mastering price action and the two top day trading setups, and with a little help from the Profit Takers Alert Dash. So let's get to it. So today, we're going to look at NAS, S&P, and US 30. These were the trades. Well, I took NAS and US 30 today. They're the only ones that were in line with my flashcards, and they just checked all the boxes, right? And when what I like to do in my charting process, right? And one of the things that we're going to add to this indicator is to make sure that we have the zones, right? Right now, I just do it by hand. I just come here, and right now I'm looking at H4, and this is US 30. And I'll go ahead and mark out the previous week's low and then the previous week's high. Okay. Because basic market structure is basically telling us that we are breaking the highs and respecting the lows. All right. So if I need to, let me just illustrate that just 1 second here for you all, for everyone in the back. We have a market makers pattern, okay? And we will typically see this pattern go for about three to 4 days, okay? So here we have our swing low, okay? And this swing low, I'm gonna really try. This is gonna be difficult. This swing low failed, okay? I'm trying to write a low. The swing low has failed. Okay. We have our initial break of structure here, or break in structure, or change of character, whatever you want to call it. All right. And then we have where the market is going to basically expand, right? Is it expand that they say, or extract? And then retrace. Okay. Now, this area right here, it could be a small retracement. I know I didn't really do this very pretty, but the reason why sometimes you'll see, sometimes it's just not small, and then you'll see your moves just like that. But the reason why I made this one a little bit small sometimes, because sometimes, guys, you'll have like a little dip, and then you'll be able to get in the entry right at this moment. However, I don't necessarily recommend it, because right now this particular area, unless it breaks the structure and it respects this low here, because this is probably a low from the previous structure, right? So let me just do it real. I know this is basic, market structure, and I really wanted to illustrate this. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better. I don't know. So we have our swing high here that failed. Okay, we have the break of structure here. After this thing, drops, we always want to wait for the retracement. Okay. All right, you always want to wait for that so that you can enter here. And this is your optimal entry. Okay. Which is also called an OTE. And then the market will drop once more. Okay. And then also this area here, it's also considered a range high. Okay. It drops one more time here. And then we have this area here where it's going to retrace. And usually it retraces around 50%. Sometimes you can get in, you can tighten in your Fibonacci's a little bit, right? And then you can enter in for that last drop. Okay. And that's usually what you're going to get. You're going to get 3 solid drops. Sometimes you might see 4. So I wanted to draw this line across here, because this eventually is going to, be the area where the structure finally breaks. And then what are we doing? We're respecting the lows and breaking the highs. All right. Because that's what we want to do. So this particular area, and you'll see how the indicator does change in real time, right? If prices does not take out the previous high, and it starts to break down, then okay, we are no longer in a bull, right? We are now breaking down going back short, back into bear. And it will update. This will update straight away. As soon as that everything confirms, we have a lot of calculations that are embedded here to confirm that, but it will confirm that in real time. So we've seen a lot of fluctuations in the market this week. And of course, we have a ton of red folder news. High impact news is also happening since non-farm. So the markets are going to go whichever way. And we just need to be in, right behind them once they finish their move. Like once they do finish their manipulation and they decide to then change the trend once again, then we just change along with them. Because GU has changed like twice. I promise you. So we want to make sure that we wait for price to let us know, are you really going to go long or are we going to break down? So that's why you want to wait until this thing actually comes to the low, right? Then gets support and then boom, and then it goes back up. So once it goes back up, guys, we want to wait for it one more time to retrace. And once it retraces that second time there, that is the entry. Okay, that's where we want to get in. I wish this could have been a little bit clearer, but I'm so sorry. And then it's going to push up. It's going to break the previous, I made this kind of high, but technically it's going to start breaking previous highs. And that's what we want when we're in a bull trending market. And that's what I wanted to illustrate this as I'm showing you the indices, right? Okay, so let me clear this real quick. I hope that made sense. It's a little sloppy, but I'm going to do another video that makes this a little bit more clear for you all. All right. So let me go ahead and break this down back to H1. All right. So today when the markets opened, obviously it's still today for me. It's still, what's today? Tuesday. I had to look at my calendar. It's still Tuesday for me, but in the trading world, it is Wednesday. Right. And so I had dropped some flashcards in our Pips on Fire group. Let me bring this over here real quick. And I was saying, hey, I'm looking at these setups for the 3 low of week. And I had this particular flashcard tucked away somewhere. And I was like, let me go bring this out and look at it, because I always want to have a reference. Okay. And what are we looking at here, guys? Again, the market structure. We're seeing how prices came all the way down. You see yesterday's low here. It broke through yesterday's low and it closed above it, okay? And it took out this particular, that particular high. But I'm really counting it from here, right? Because it put in that high. The next day, we're expecting the second day of the previous day high break. That's what the previous day high. Of course, we should know all what that means, just previous day high, or it can also be referred to as yesterday's high. And I just wrote broke, right? So just abbreviated it. So I'm looking for 3 breaks. Okay. So technically it's day 4, right? And the same thing with the indices. It was day 4 today, right? Because I count the days from the peak. So peak is 1, day 2, because we have our day 2 trend trades, which are the very popular trades, right? Which we absolutely love because they often play out like this one did, right? Came down here with the stop hunt, and then we're able to take this W back long, right? It's a beautiful trade. So day 1, day 2, day 3, and then today was day 4. But as I'm looking at day 4, I'm like, okay, we've had 2 days of previous high breaks. So I'm expecting this to be another break, right? And it did just that, right? And so in this illustration, it came down a little lower, right? And it happened earlier in the session for the London traders. They were able to get in on this one. But of course, for the indices, this is just saved just for us New Yorkers. Okay. Okay, London people, y'all greedy because you guys can trade from the morning into the evening. I'm just so jealous. And you don't even have to wake up early. So anyway, I was looking for this thing to do that. Is it always going to be this absolute perfect? No, as you can see, there's some variations in this particular pattern, right? And that's just fine. But I know that I'm looking for prices to come up to the previous day's low or the previous day's high and then continue on. And that's what it did. So here we had the previous day high marker right there. And that was the area where we're looking for it to push through and break the high. Okay, break the high for Monday. That's what we're talking about. So that's that third break that we're looking for. All right. So now we have completely cleared 3 ADR. Does the ADRs always happen to get cleared like this? No. Okay, they don't. Sometimes they don't hold up their part of the bargain, and then the market ends up reversing before it even gets to 380R. Sometimes the market makers don't take it all the way up there, okay, which is fine. But we can see visibly with our eyes. Sometimes it's hard to tell, right? Because sometimes they'll come up here the first day, of the peak, may also close and it's still pretty low, right? It closes inside. It's, it almost looks like it's not a actual green day because it's closing below, right? Instead of above, because typically we're looking for prices to close above the open, all right, to confirm a signal day for this day 2 trend. And so this one checked all the boxes. So I was like, okay, this trade setup, this is the one I'm waiting for. And I'm waiting for this thing to give me a nice, it wasn't like a perfect W, but you had for those of you who took this drop at the open, that was available for you to take. I know a lot of traders would have taken that. But I was waiting for this thing to actually give us this reversal. Okay. So, and we had news today as well. All right. So you have to take all of that in consideration. So I hope that little illustration that I shared with you in the very beginning was helpful for you to understand with the simple market structure, what we're actually looking for when we get the signal on the profit takers alert dash, which is going to be the 3, right? It can be the 3 high of week. It could be the 3 low of week. Those are the things that I'm looking for. And I'm looking for it to look like something that I've already seen before. And that's why I like to have my flashcards readily available to me. Okay. All right. So let me see if we can look at something else that's not too messed up with all the news. So this one, typically guys, this is a 1 high of week. So we are definitely looking for prices to drop. This is one of those, this is the second very simple trade setup that we would ideally look for us to take. Okay. So, NU is lining up. Now here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. Once it comes to your particular trade session, if you're trading Asia right now, obviously you would have been able to take this drop, but this is not my trading session. I want to go to sleep with peace. Okay. So I'm going to wait. And when I get back to the markets, probably around 4 o'clock in the morning, my time, East Central time, and then we'll see where we're at with this. But typically when you're taking these, this is going to be technically day 2. When I wake up, this is where the trading world is already in day 2, right? When I get to the charts in the morning, it'll be full blown day 2. And I would want to be able to get in on this trade. You want to get in on this trade, at yesterday's low, because we're high, right? We're in a bear market. What are we looking to do in this instance? We are looking to break the lows and respect the highs. Okay. Okay. So we have this break here. And then we have the drop. And then we're looking for the retracement. Okay. Right. And then this is the entry here. Okay. There's going to be like so many people who are trying to make you buy their course or whatever so you can learn this. This is like market structure 101. This is nobody's trade. Nobody owns this trade. I don't own this trade. This is a trade that the market makers laid down for us, and everybody wants to claim this is the entry. This happens on 1 minute, on the 5 minute, on the 15 minute, on the 30 minute. and so on. The markets are fractal. You're going to see this happening over and over. So whatever time frame that you choose that you want to trade, then that's what you wait for. You wait for this retracement, guys, and then you get in, right? You get in on that drop. You know it's going to come to a low again, right? Let that thing retrace, okay? And then you can get back in on another one, okay? And once that happens, don't try to continue to drop. Did I say the market can drop a fourth time? Absolutely. Sometimes it does that. But don't do that. Okay? You just be patient, right? You've already got in on these two drops right here. Maybe you missed this one, right? Because maybe I'm asleep and I missed this one. Okay? But that's it. Once it gets to the low, we're going long, right? That's just it. Even if it says a one high week, it might give you a nice little reversal to take, right? And usually after it goes, in that quick reversal and it decides to then start to trickle on down, you could just be in a low volume market because they're already done, okay? So that could happen too. So let me see what the news is looking like, because I know we're not done. I know this week is rough, guys. This week is so rough with this news. We have news. Let me clear this chart. We have news. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so PPI. That thing there. We have news at 8:30, and we have news at 2:00 for the dollar. It's going to be rough tomorrow, guys. So if you are going to trade, it's best to trade early. Trade after the news hits. So right after 8:30, it could be 8:31, you could trade, right? And then you have the market opening at 9:30, all right? And then it may or may not, we may not get any movement until after 2, right? Because the FOMC is at 2:00. Right? You have the Fed funds rate at 2 as well. So there's a lot going on. Are these markets going to play out like we want them to? Probably not. But you just wait. Just be patient for these things to play out. That's all I could say. So, okay, look at the dollar CAD. All right. So the dollar CAD, I would day 2 trade. I would definitely wait for this thing to do another retest of the low before I go back up. Okay. That's what I would normally do. And oftentimes you can get a good measure with the fib if you just take the previous day's high and low right there and then just mark your area. All right. And then by the time I get to the charts and see, did we even get close to it? Do I need to readjust this thing for the low of the day? And then I'll do that. Right? There's not a right or wrong way, I don't think, on, scaling in on that. I just think it's your preference. I used to not even use these, but now I'm starting to use them more, just to get in on that entry really good. Okay. Now, so those are this is it, guys. This trade right here, the one low of week, which is also could be referred to as a first green day. It could be referred to as a one peak formation low, however you want to see this or call it, guys. Tomorrow, which is Wednesday, is our day 2 trend trades, which we should expect this market to continue to push up. And that's when I'm looking at the dashboard. That's exactly what I'm looking for to happen on these particular trades with the one. Okay. That's just how simple it is. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? I'm not going to get all hung up about it not working. Right. This is GU now. It's now back to one high of week. It was once a low of week because the way price action was acting. And again, the dashboard did appropriately update. So I'm just going to wait to see if this is going to break this low, right? Once it breaks that low, then we're in business, right? If it doesn't break this low and it gets support, we're not in business. We're going the other way. And you just need to change your mind and run with the market makers. That's really all you need to do. Okay. So guys, those are 2 powerful trade setups that I like to look for. Again, it's breaking the, I wanted to show you the other ones. Okay, so we looked at, oh, this is the S&P. You see how they look so similar? You see how we had our 3 breaks, right? Our 3 days of previous day high breaks. That's what we're looking for. All right. We're looking for it to do that one more time, right? It came to this area of the yesterday's high, and it needs to break through that, right? And it did it for us. So this one kind of probably faked you out because it did this huge, what is this, like there's this huge stop hunt here. I think they also call it like the liquidity grab or something. So many different names, whatever you want to call it. I like stop hunt. I like to keep it simple. For those of you who took this trade, they were all like that. Even look at US 30. You know, they all did the stop hunt around the open. Let me go down to M15, right? You can see this is US 30. They all did the stop hunt. I'm looking for this thing to break the previous day high, right? And that's what, and you could have totally taken this trade, right? And then once it got to the low, boom, you got to change your mind. That's really it. And I think I did take this trade now that I remember. I took this both ways. That's just what it was. And this is another thing. You're up here in what you want to consider level 3 price action, where price can go whichever way. But you're looking for this thing to do the break. You know, it's the third day of breaking the highs, and that's what we are anticipating. And it could have absolutely came up to this area. Okay, it could have absolutely came up here, and it could have absolutely continued to fall, right? It could have, but we got support. Okay, it gave us a low of day. We got another entry, right, back through the previous day high to take it long, right back up to the high of day. This was such a beautiful trade. Okay, I took this one too long. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see, where did I post it? Yeah, here we go. This is when I was taking it short. Okay, the moment I noticed that things starting to get support, because I had the indicator do the trade managing for me. Okay, easy breezy. And then I was watching it because I was like, okay, this could absolutely continue to go down and hit yesterday's low, or it could find a low, create a low of the day and continue on up, right? You have to be mindful of that. It happens. Trying to see if I can find the one. Well, shucks. I don't know where I put it, guys. But I post a lot of this stuff in the locals. So if you're a part of that, then, you know, join us in the locals. If you don't have the subscription for the Profit Takers Dash and you want to be a part of locals and get, you know, I post the setups in there every morning, be a member. It's only $5. Okay. If you want to get the Profit Takers Dashboard, that information, you can visit the website. It's all in the description of this video. Okay. All you got to do is go to ProfitTakerAlerts.com. Again, that's ProfitTakerAlerts.com. All right. And you get a chance to just try it for free for 7 days. No credit card is required to try it and see if you like it. We have some new updates coming up to the actual indicator itself. We're also going to have it available for M5, and we are also going to have it available for TradingView for those of you who like to chart there. So that is all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got some value. Join us in the locals, right? Engage, collaborate. You know, we'd love to see you there. All right, so that's all I have for now. Good night. We'll see you next time. Or good morning. Ciao for now.